Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Pinball FX2. So last time we did Star Wars The Clone Wars, another one of those tables that just was really too easy to lose at. Slight problem also that I haven't watched The Clone Wars, so I'm not super interested in that, but mostly just the fact that I was dying a little too often became a problem. Today we're gonna do Ghost Rider, so let's hop in here.
Ghost Rider.
I, in general, know some simple things about Ghost Rider. There have been several of them. There's a new one that's probably not the character we're playing in this table, but it's basically somebody makes a deal with the devil to do something, and then they have to work for the devil to beat bad guys. That sometimes, maybe they escape from hell sometimes too. The achievements here: complete at least 3 rounds in a row and on the jump ramp, and collect at least 1 super jackpot during hell of a multi-ball. Okay, let's start hopping there. So the thing about Ghost Rider is the original Ghost Rider comic book was a kind of like the Flaming Skull guy, but he was riding a horse. And this is Johnny Blaze, the not the new guy that they have, but probably for the longest time he would have been the most interesting or the most well-known Ghost Rider. So we kind of are at the...
You will know it as the Ghost Rider.
Like, it's about vengeance is what he's trying to get up. And see, this feels very metal here. Very, very metal.
I'm invincible. One of my pals wants to play.
So I'm not even sure if this demon here is the devil or if he's somebody else.
And the show begins.
What's interesting here is this is the first time we've seen this toy on the left. Let's start the orb, I suppose.
Belongs to the orb.
So a colorful cast of characters here. Wow, look at this table. This table is so full of stuff.
Who are you again?
Like that right there. Those have been around on rare occasions on real pinball tables. It's a skill ramp, and usually the trick here is you're trying to get the ball in the middle ramp, middle hole, not the very top and not the very last.
I don't know if you really are deaf, but I'll race ya.
And now we're doing a death race. So now they've got a new guy that drives a car, or at least he does in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's the hole you want to hit, usually. There's a seesaw mechanic. We haven't seen that in any of the other tables. This table is a little distracting, and it is full of everything. I really should have let the camera fly around so we could...
And the show begins.
We hit his wheel to get the jump ramp clear, and now we do the jump ramp.
Not bad. Not bad.
See, I've done 2 of the scene 6 things already. Right up that same jump ramp. There's a loop-de-loop here, which you could do with magnets.
Vengeance belongs to the orb.
And I started the orb again.
Terrific!
And the show begins.
Shot a shotgun. That shotgun was huge, but I didn't even see it. There on the left. kind of just dropped the ball here at the beginning. Really the fire. So I need to figure out what the shotgun bully wants me to hit.
So, you wanna play? Then let's play. That's how I like it.
5 million.
Surely, please. You will
Oh,
never
man.
forget the orb.
That was a terrible
Who are you again?
system. And that wasn't the skill shot? I don't get it. Why wouldn't that be the skill shot?
I'm invincible.
And the show begins.
I've got your back, Johnny.
Yeah, the new Ghost Rider
My
is
grandfather would not be pleased.
just one of these things that
Good work.
they're trying to diversify,
Game
so they
over.
have the new Ghost Rider as a Mexican American character, which is fine. I mean, if anybody has the right to complain about them changing Ghost Rider, it's the original Ghost Rider from the 60s or earlier people. And this is probably the third time, particularly for Ghost Rider, that they've changed who the character is. And it's not that uncommon in comics to do something like that, because while Superman is Kal-El almost always, except for after the death of Superman when they replaced him with actual different characters, and maybe they have replaced him with a clone once or twice too, the actual personality of Superman changes pretty common. Like, he'll, depending on who's writing him, his attitude might change quite often. A jump ramp, I wonder if you don't make the jump there, I guess you just hit it with the pop-up bumpers. There's a reverse play field over here where you can lock the ball, I think, by sneaking it in. So that's that. And there's this villain. So I would lean to think that this is the devil that they see in the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. idea. The guy says he makes a deal with the devil, but I bet we never actually see a devil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or TV universe. That would be too much. Scarecrow. Frankly, Johnny Blaze wouldn't really work. He would feel like Duke Nukem feels in 2016 or 2017. This recording at this rate will be airing in 2017. Now it's taken so long, but yeah, his whole mentality just doesn't work.
Mine is the power of hell.
We'll look at the instructions later.
Not that. Not that.
So that's what happens when you don't make the jump.
I'm invincible.
And you just kind of have to sneak the ball, I think, behind the moving target there.
You wanna play? Then let's play.
I would rather take the 5 million with the ball we'll save.
The great Johnny Butterfingers.
And so the only way you could even save that way is you would have to bump the ball. You'd have to bump the table.
Surprise, bonehead.
So that got the score multiplier. Shoot all the lit targets.
The lock is lit.
Missed it.
Not bad. Not bad.
To some extent, the Ghost Rider is supposed to
Makes me strong.
he's supposed to have a
freak.
a thing called the penitent stare, where his skull form of his head looks at the enemies into their souls and that deep into their eyes and sees if they are
I'm invincible.
guilty and forces them to see that they're guilty too.
Surprise, bonehead.
Something like that. So, to some extent, he's not supposed to punish innocent people.
Hurry up!
3, 2,
I lost a soul. First losing a soul means there have been quite a few attempts at like sci-fi movies and stories where souls escape from hell and you have to get them back, and they didn't. None of them really ever succeeded. So
I've got your
I
back.
think it's probably just bad writing.
The lock is lit.
Because this table is so full of all these other elements, like there's, I can't make the normal arguments at all. I can't make the normal complaints that there's too many ramps, that there's too difficult of shots. It's not the case. In fact, I now have to make completely different arguments. There may be too much stuff here that's unique and different. The table's a little cluttered. But I like the tables a little cluttered, so I wouldn't make that complaint.
Don't move.
Even this giant shotgun over here on the left, I didn't even see it until it started moving.
Your ambition. Surprise, bonehead.
So you get an extra bonus every time you get behind that guy, so make those shots. And every time you hit the target, you start the mission. It's actually rather easy to start a mission. I guess it's worth pointing out that Johnny Blaze originally was the stunt driver. He's kind of like,
Not bad. Not bad.
well, I want to say Daredevil. He is a Daredevil, not the Daredevil. The name's all wrong. And he has an enemy here called Scarecrow, so who had a bad guy named Scarecrow first was
Wanna
it?
play? Then let's play.
So here's just a gamble. $500,000 with the ball saver,
Don't
or
move.
$5 million without the ball saver, and he's just gonna shoot the ball straight down the center. We've seen tables shoot the ball straight down the center for nothing many times without a ball saver option at all. Now I don't think I got the reward either time though,
Not bad.
but I'd rather take the $500,000 with the ball saver.
Great. Terrific.
Keep that ball in play.
The show begins. A backflip.
I'm invincible.
I need to do that cross shot, I guess. Missed.
So, you wanna play? Then let's play.
So we choose this, and then we gotta bounce the ball with the wrong. I hit the wrong
Johnny Butterfield.
stick. I hit the right stick when I needed to hit the left stick to bounce the table.
Not bad. Not bad.
I'm just not used to nudging at all.
And the show begins.
Nope.
We have a cheater.
Now there's a really
Ball lost.
far right lane into the seesaw. Serpentine path. Okay, I see. If you go too strong, it bounces back.
And the show begins!
Serpentine paths or paths like that are pretty common. I mean, you see them in one out of every 10 tables, I would say. Just to pick a number out of my head. So the fact that we've done 48 tables and not seen one until this point is very strange. Seesaws, maybe you see that. Maybe you see that in every 20 tables, but it still doesn't make any sense. It's like we've been through 48 tables, and there's a good amount of toys and tricks and things that are in pinball tables, a lot more than 1 out of every 48 that we haven't seen, because their table design is just so uniform, so bland. There we go.
The lock is lit.
With each escaped soul, hell grows closer to earth.
So maybe Johnny Blaze is actually trying to stop the devil.
And the show begins!
So, you wanna play? Then let's play.
So
The great Johnny Butterfingers.
Ball
I
lost.
just, like, I sat there and I bounced that like crazy.
Game
and
over.
It still didn't help it one bit. Let's look at the table guide now. So this is Lucifer, and if it's anything like the DC universe, there's so many different devils in the Marvel universe that you probably got 5 of them fighting. Although I guess in the DC universe, to some extent, because they do have the Vertigo universe too, we kind of know who Lucifer is, since there was an entire comic book called Lucifer. But I bet devils come in and come out, and they all claim to be the devil. So villains, there's
And the show begins!
Quantum Carnival. See if I can get over and around. It spins that wheel. Hellfire Jackpot by collecting all the fire targets and then hitting that. Escape Souls are by hitting those 2 bumpers over there. That's going to be difficult. Lock and multi-ball is that. That's where I got stuck. And multi-ball. And 2-bar mold. Hell of a multi-ball. Hit all those things. Highway loops by hitting all those. And extra balls. So it doesn't even talk about a lot the missions or
The spirit of vengeance rides again.
any of that. So I just need to get good at the
And the show begins!
skill shot.
The lock is lit.
That damn soul escaped.
Ball locked.
Ball locked. Good. Yeah, I guess that is a more difficult
One
skill
of my
shot than I
pals
thought
wants to
it was.
play.
The lock is lit.
Missed.
That damn soul escaped.
A turn down! And the show
So you get into this weird, like, explanation that has to happen when you're working with the devil. It's like, does he want the souls to escape? Does he not want them to escape? Is he trying to stage the end of the world, or is he waiting for the right time? And does he want to keep the souls because he's in charge of them? Depending on who's writing the devil in which story, it could be one or the other. I'm not sure if they ever made the movie or released the movie, but they made a. Let's try
Little
Mephisto.
Mephisto has a deal for you.
They did
You can't beat me.
work on at
I'm
least
invincible.
a terrible Ghost Rider movie starring Nicolas Cage. I think mostly because Nicolas Cage
I've never been your puppet.
wanted to do it.
Jackpot.
It's important to point out that Nicolas Cage actually changed his name, and he is like the cousin of Francis Ford Coppola, and that kind of explains in general it's just nepotism that he gets any work at all. Although
Jackpot increased.
we would have certainly missed something if we didn't have some awful movies starring Nicolas Cage.
Jackpot.
And he really, in some crazy way, did love
My turn. I said mine.
and want to do the movie
I'm
work for
invincible.
Ghost Rider.
And the show begins.
When they were filming it, he was walking around with wearing a Ghost Rider mask that he brought himself, and they were like, "It's all gonna be." They kept telling him it's all gonna be CG. You're freaking out the other actors,
Fantastic Johnny Blaze.
but he wouldn't take it off, and so
Not bad. Not bad.
And the show begins.
My turn.
it's
I
kind
said
of weird.
mine.
Now this is weird too. The Mephisto keeps making me lose the ball. I can't use the flippers. Whenever he says my turn, I said my
My
turn.
turn.
But
I said
it stops.
mine.
He just holds the thing down. So I'm trying to shoot this left
My
line.
turn. My turn.
There we go.
I said
Then he messed that one up too. Oh man. So maybe in the comic books Mephisto has the ability
Ball lost.
to control you. Will we get a new modern Ghost Rider movie in this Marvel Cinematic Universe? Probably not. Considering they're putting it on the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't think they want to introduce
Focus.
there's a difference between adding Doctor Strange, which is a magical one, and adding Ghost Rider, which is a pure, loosely based on Christianity's religious realm of having an actual devil and all that. They tried a Constantine TV series and it got canceled after one season.
My grandfather would not be
They're
pleased.
doing Ghost Rider on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also, after movies kind of failed, or if the movie was made by a different publishing company, they may just not have the rights. It may very well be that Fox has the rights to Ghost Rider, and they may just make a remake of the movie, just to continue having the rights.
Surprise, bonehead.
So that might be an issue too. They may only have the rights to Johnny Blaze though, so the new character may have been partially created to change the rights back to Marvel and now Disney.
Not bad. Not bad.
It would be hard to make a Disney movie and family friendly with this story. It would be really, really difficult. Although with every year, Disney more and more is losing that family friendly feeling anyways. Like, the people who are interested in something being family friendly have not adjusted to more modern times. So what they're running from, won't even get
So,
in a Disney
you wanna play?
cartoon.
Then let's play.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
The great
That's
Johnny
just a joke.
Butterfingers.
I think it is. I think it's a joke. I don't think you can win that. I think they specifically programmed it so it would just shoot it down always. You never win against the devil.
I'm invincible.
And see, it doesn't even seem like the...
Ball lost.
It doesn't even seem like after you did all
Well
of
done.
these bad
Game
guys,
over.
you would fight Lucifer. I don't think it ever really comes down to
Vengeance has a
that.
name. You will know it as the Ghost Rider.
Skill shot.
So is there a super skill shot? No. Doesn't look like it. I wish if I didn't make that jump,
Don't
it
move.
would end up higher with near the pop-up bumpers, so it gets more hits there. Seems like it lands right below the pop-up bumpers actually. Shooting up the center, it does let the ball drain down the center lane, so that is a dangerous shot certainly.
One of my pals wants to play.
The lock is lit.
I would say before they
Fantastic Johnny Blaze did it again.
tried to make
And the show begins.
a Ghost Rider,
The fantastic Johnny Blaze did it again.
before they tried to make a Ghost Rider movie, they need to fix the Green Lantern series.
My
They gotta get a
grandfather
good.
would not be pleased.
You gotta get a good Green Lantern on there because it wasn't only a couple years ago that there was like 5 or 6 Lantern
shot.
books coming out. The Green Lantern, the Green Lantern Corps, the Sinestro, Red Lanterns.
That damn soul escaped.
Let's see, probably a
The
couple
lock is
more.
lit. Ball locked.
So, and the Lantern series is like the entire
Skill
universe.
shot.
Oh wait, that's DC.
Multi-ball.
Never mind.
Jackpot increased.
Wow, I've been stupidly talking about it backwards. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're talking Marvel here. See, this is me
Jackpot increased.
again showing that I know the DC universe so much, and I just thought I just transplanted it. So yeah, the failure of the Green
increased.
Lantern movie has really nothing to do with this. I think I got confused because I suspect Fox made the Green Lantern movie and this, the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie, and combine that in my head. So what Marvel needs to do is they need to expand their universe with Thanos and whatever Universal characters they have, which I don't even know if they have that much of a Universal characters. They have the Silver Surfer, and he may actually be the biggest character in the whole universe of outer space characters.
Kickback activated.
I imagine there's some more of that. If they could get the World War Hulk going, that might work. See, the Marvel Cinematic Universe knows there's aliens from different dimensions, or that can travel through wormholes, or whatever happened in the Avengers maybe, I'm not even sure.
Not bad.
But they gotta expand that a little bit with the Guardians of the Galaxies, and they probably need another movie or two to go that way. And hopefully people will be willing to watch that. either they do that or they just get rid of the universality. One of the issues is that
That damn soul escaped.
the X-Men
With each escape
did
soul, hell
have
grows
some
closer to
dealings
hell.
with aliens. So the fact that they can't, right now at least, do anything with X-Men is a big problem. Because the Phoenix would have been a huge issue to cover with X-Men, and it's just not there. The Watcher should be introduced. They could have probably introduced the Watcher a long time ago.
I'm invincible.
But there's probably not too much reason why to.
So, you wanna play? Then let's play.
What if we just don't gamble at all?
The great Johnny Butterfingers.
Awesome.
So I don't know if the new Ghost Rider uses a shotgun. It doesn't really. In the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Admire your
it
ambition.
doesn't seem like he would need it. He can shoot flame from his hands.
Great. The lock is lit.
With each escape soul, hell grows closer to hell.
This table is kind of repetitive.
Not bad.
They're doing the same things over and over again. That's what repetitive means, yeah, duh. But overall, I mostly like this table. It's thematically correct. This is what the comic book used to look like, as far as I know. I have a slight problem with not actually being able to win the deal with the devil, but that's almost thematically correct. It's a funny joke to put on a pinball table. It happens a little too often, but okay. This jump ramp is a deadly single shot because of the danger of it falling down
Touche.
again.
I admire your ambition.
It's easy to get a free random bonus reward here. The hell of a multi-ball is kind of difficult to get. Locking the other multi-ball is kind of difficult to
My
do
grandfather
too.
would not be pleased.
So I would
Fantastic.
make the usual arguments
Game over.
that some of the angles aren't the perfect here. I don't know how to activate that spinner that's under him.
Skill shot.
I think the Marvel Universe at a certain point kind of needs to also cover its older stuff, and they kind of haven't touched that yet. I almost made the mistake and said the Legends of Tomorrow touches it, but then I just realized that the Legends of Tomorrow are again DC. And yeah, everything on the
Soul escaped.
aren't they? Wait,
Surprise,
yeah, they're DC.
bonehead.
Yep. So, unlike DC,
Focus.
I don't know of the early decades of Marvel really having anything that's been left in the past. Like Ghost Rider was a horse guy riding a horse back in the old cowboy comics days, and you can't really have too many.
Surprise, bonehead.
Like Jonah Hex again on the DC side is about the only comic cowboy comic that might even work
I've got your
because
back.
it's not a traditional cowboy comic, which were kind of boring. You know, the good guys always wore white hats and the bad guys always black hats type stuff. It had no nuance intentionally because they didn't think kids in those days could understand nuance, and thus it makes a dull story. But I think in the Marvel comic books in general, they just kind of just repeated and restarted things. So
Nice shot.
if the question is like, what is older than Spider-Man? What is older than X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Is there anything set in the past? Or is it always just attempting to be in the modern time?
And the show begins.
Focus.
Who is this girl, by the way? We don't know this. Also, that's the one thing I liked about the Lego, not Lego, I almost said Lego Star Wars, like the Star Wars Clone Wars table, is that it sat there and scrolled an intro every time you started the game that you could skip. Like it starts at the movie of Star Wars, at the beginning of Star Wars movies, explaining what's going on to a pretty decent extent. So anybody who's new to the Clone Wars can figure that out. Here we could have something similar. Like, who is this character? This girl. Why is she saying my grandfather would be ashamed? I bet her grandfather was the original Ghost Rider.
That damn soul escaped. I'm invincible.
Like,
Ball lost.
in the, again, to get back to the Marvel's past, not really knowing it. Like, in comparison to DC, there's a whole Justice Society of America set of heroes that happened before the Justice League of Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman.
Surprise, Bonehead.
And there's a Jonah Hex, which is
The lock is lit.
a nitty-gritty modern interpretation, kind of dark interpretation
I've got your back, Johnny.
of cowboys and Indian stories. There's, I guess, Captain America is one of their oldest ones, and in the cinematic universe they jump over the fact that he was doing so much World War II stuff. I guess that's what they're trying to avoid, is the fact that if they do their old comic books, it's probably all just going to be World War propaganda comic books that have no real interesting characters. Captain America may be the only one that's interesting.
Skill shot.
I know there was a lot of them between Marvel and DC. It's like G.I. Soldier. There was a lot of romance ones too that have like no appeal at all. I don't think they even had appeal back then.
Not bad. Not bad.
They're super sexist by today's standards.
The lock is lit.
Romance comic.
We need your skilled soul. Hell grows closer to her.
Young Love, Teen Love, I think was one of them.
So, you want to play? Then let's play.
Don't move.
The great Johnny
If the ball there had like a slight angle to it that was randomized, that'd be a little bit more realistic that you could actually
The
succeed.
lock is lit.
But as it is, since it goes in the exact same direction each time,
The fantastic Johnny Blaze did it again.
when you get in the groove here, this table works. But even if this table didn't
I've
work,
got your back, Johnny.
sometimes it doesn't. The fact that it's just got new elements that they didn't bother to ever use again, seems
Terrific.
incredibly crazy. He should have shown up at some other point. In
Awesome.
some of the bigger ones too. Like, why do they have like 5 different styles of balls? feels like maybe Marvel told them what they
The
wanted,
lock is lit.
and they just gave them what they wanted without telling them, you know what, that's actually a bad idea. You shouldn't make a pinball table with 5 different styles of balls that don't do anything real, or have lanes only react when you hit it with one colored ball. I've never seen that in pinball, and I think there's a good reason for it. It's too crazy, too difficult to pull off. I would say a vast majority of pinball is about finding the right balance between difficult and easy. You want to give a level of difficulty, a level of challenge, certainly, but you mostly would want to lean on to a level of easy so that little kids, because that is your first introduction on pinball. If you're going to get people to play pinball, it's going to be a 2-year-old standing on a chair in front of a pinball table, hitting the bumpers, not having a clue what they're doing, just seeing the shiny ball. This is literally the shiny keys to a baby extrapolation. There's a reason why the pinballs are shiny silver.
Hurry up! Ball lost.
And
Shot.
that might also explain my love for pinball in general too, is that I played it when I was young, and I don't have the most great attention span. I have a pretty bad attention span, so a shiny marble certainly is a great addition to the situation to me. The fact also in pinball that you only have to really remember or focus as long as your next shot just helps. I'm not having to memorize how many times I've spelled something or how many times I've gone up a ramp. The game tells me, or the game or it doesn't matter, because even if the game doesn't tell me, it will do what it's going to do once I accomplish the goal, whether I remember whether I've done it or not. So you can really be ADD and play pinball a lot better than something like an extreme example. The other way would be chess, poker, things that take a lot of strategy. Go would certainly be one.
And the show begins!
Nice shot.
I kind of like the gun thing, but
Ball lost. Good work. Game over.
so we've been playing 45 minutes here and got 12 minutes. This isn't one of those tables where you score a lot. I can tell that.
Skill shot.
But if I played this, and I probably would play this table more than any of those. Although, to be honest, at this point, playing over 50 tables on FX and being so disappointed with so many of them, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play any more Pinball FX for at least a year. But after that year time, after I have kind of forgotten all the bad ones, this would be one that I would come back and say, yeah, let's play this again.
So, you want to play? Then let's play.
It also becomes kind of weird.
Focus.
Why does...
The great Johnny Butterfingers.
Why is it that the old DLC, the ones that clearly, the tables that were clearly made before the new ones, like Avengers Age of Ultron was clearly made after this table. Absolutely. Why are the old tables better? Is it because Zen Studios
Surprise, bonehead.
got rid of everybody? And this is also published, or maybe Zen Studios is a subsidiary of Microsoft Studios, so Microsoft kind of has
I'm invincible.
a claim to blame here too. Claim to blame. That's an interesting phrase. But
Awesome.
Not bad. Not bad.
yeah, I kind of have to wonder if maybe there was an original team that made the original tables, and those people left, and they got replaced with people that didn't understand what pinball was or didn't care.
Terrific.
A turn now.
Man, I'm slow. That was the slowest reaction I've ever seen.
And the show begins.
Doesn't feel like the pop-up bumpers are in the right
The
place.
fantastic Johnny Blaze did it again.
Street
I
Death
don't know if
Race.
you really are death, but I'll race ya.
A turn now.
So, I think I'm trying to get the ball in the blinking lower place. So, that was way too much.
A turn now.
Yeah. Darn it.
Not bad. Not bad.
So I didn't get the bonus, but I
admire your
finished,
ambition.
finished Death Race at least.
And the show begins.
It's really easy to get the multiplier up, it seems. Which is nice. I think we're doing it by spelling out. What are we spelling out? It's
A turn now.
VLOVROM. Is it vroom? I think it is. It's spelling out vroom. And I lost the ball trying to spell. Oh, that was a stupid move. It's all about
Skill
priorities. Priority 1, keep the ball in play. Don't lose.
Not bad. Not bad.
I really like the moving target here. For a sneak-in bonus behind the moving target, that's really nice. The seesaw doesn't really do too much,
Surprise,
but
bonehead.
that's fine. And it's
Nice
way over
shot.
there on the right, so and it works thematically. The loop is. You would think that would be an incredibly difficult ramp to hit, but every time I hit it, it seems to work fine.
And the show begins.
The center jump is a problem, but it seems like you get a ball save anyways half the time. So this table has
So,
put in
you want to play? Then let's play.
reasons and
Terrific.
wow, I got it. Wow, finally.
And the show begins.
So it's put in some safety measures. See the ball, the shoot again pops up when you hit the jump there. So if it does die,
The
it should still
fantastic
be
Johnny
okay.
Blaze did it again.
Not bad. Not bad.
And
I'm
a
invincible.
lot of their tables that are really difficult, if they just
Surprise,
after certain
bonehead.
hits, after certain shots, did give you a 5-second
Ball
ball
lost.
save, it would fix a lot of that. Seems like you lose score if you lose souls. That's an interesting way to score. So
Focus.
10 souls missing. If you lose 10 souls, you get 0 of the ball, of that entire ball. That would
Surprise,
kind of suck.
bonehead.
I bet there's a minimum to stop that from happening.
And the show begins.
Man, I am slow.
Turn now.
These cross shots. I need to get way better at doing cross shots.
Turn now.
Way better at cross shots.
Awesome. Nice shot.
A backward.
I'm all about the hellfire.
Great.
Come on, don't lose the ball though.
And the show begins.
Not bad.
He's a stunt driver.
I'm
There,
invincible.
yeah.
Lock is lit.
Touche. I admire your ambition.
Turn now.
So this table kind of feels like you do the same thing over and over again a little bit.
Ball lost.
I imagine after two and a half hours of
Fantastic.
gameplay, you get a little bit bored with it. In fact, I'm a little bit
Game
bored with it
over.
anyways, even at 51 minutes. But it's definitely a good table. It definitely has elements in it that we have not seen in any of the other tables. They could have certainly, at the very least, had one unique thing in every single table. While there were 3D characters around, they weren't just 3D models jumping around fighting each other. It was stuff that you could easily make a real-world table like that. In fact, I don't see anything on this table that I couldn't turn around and make a Ghost Rider real pinball off of. Our high score was 12 million, not a lot, but it adds to our other high scores, and it's getting us very close to that 2 billion marker, which is where I suspect we'll be slightly over that now, and with everything, which that of course gives us a super score of 1,960. That multiplies by the 50 tables we played now. That is a huge number. If I could go anywhere within, I would say 200 miles of where I am right now and have just the opportunity to play 50 tables, I probably couldn't even play 50 tables in one day. Honestly, if I was going to go play for 8 hours, I might only play 8 tables. Same as here, same as these virtual ones. I play each table for an hour at most. But if I just even had the opportunity to go play 50 pinball tables, that would be a huge arcade. That would be a huge arcade specifically dedicated to pinballs. And I know there are a few places like that. There's like a pinball museum / arcade up in New York. I think there's one in California. There's a convention that happens in California where people bring their pinball tables to show off and sometimes sell in California, but that's kind of it. And frankly, I'm not 200 miles away from New York or California. I'm way further. So that's a shame. Anyways, that multiplies by the 50 tables and gives us a super score. A wizard score of 9,800. 98,000. Did we get the achievements done? Complete at least 3 rounds in a row on the jump ramp. I probably could have gotten that one actually. That would have just been doing the jump ramp and then going in that loop after the jump ramp over and over again. And collect at least one super jackpot doing Hell of a Multi-Ball. We never started Hell of a Multi-Ball. We got kind of close. And since this is one of those tables I would definitely consider going back to. I'd probably go back to it more than Moon Knight just because I know Ghost Rider is better, and frankly, Ghost Rider is more of a real-world pinball table with some interesting elements. So yeah, I may get those achievements at some point. Let's see what the leaderboards here are. Well, we have 7 billion, 5 billion, 5 billion, 4 billion, 3 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion, 600 million, 600 million. I got 12 million. So, let's see. 50 times 12 million would get you up to 600 million. Isn't that right? Like, am I doing my math right here? Yeah. 5 times that would get me to 60 million. 10 times that would be 600 million. So, either I played terribly here, or we just have a vast number of cheaters pushing down the scoreboard. Maybe I did play poorly, didn't get a very good high score. The expected high score for the local leaderboards was only 5 million though, so I did kind of beat that. This is nowhere near the 20 times better than me ratio we've seen on other tables. But let's just say I did play badly, and 600 million scores are legitimate, which I don't even believe they are. I think 50 times. I think the all-time high on this table should be somewhere around 300 million, or 240 million. That seems about right. That would be 20 times what I got. But maybe not. Maybe somebody got a hell of a jackpot mode and multi-ball and got super jackpots, and that changed everything. Because, yeah, there was some stuff I missed. 7 billion? No, that's definitely cheating. And then 6 billion, so this guy got 1 billion more than this guy? No. And then the next one is another billion. They cheat so obviously. They don't even look at the leaderboard and try to go just a little bit higher. They go and they try to add 1 billion points on top of each other each time. Like, just make it obvious, why don't you? See, the difference here, if it started at 1.465 million, so 1.5 billion almost, and then the next one was 1.3 billion, and then the next one was just 1 billion, that kind of would make sense, and I would start to believe that if it weren't for the fact that this score is still double this score, and there's just no legitimacy reigning true here. Here we're looking at the super score again. It's always the same, lots of cheaters, which then affects the Pinball Wizard score. And see, we're at 98,000, I believe, on the Wizard score. So even having played 50 tables, we're nowhere close on the Wizard score. Both of these leaderboards have become totally null and void as far as trying to even compare yourself. And then the only real people you can compare yourself is your friends, and then you have to have friends who have Pinball FX. And frankly, it's a sad statement to say, but you gotta be really precise about even recommending Pinball FX2 to your friends, because there's just so many bad tables. I would have to say, well, if you're gonna play Pinball FX, you should maybe get the Portal table if you like Portal, get the Walking Dead table if you like Walking Dead, get Star Wars The Force The Force Awakens, the episode 7 if you like that, get the Rebels table, which is if you like the Star Wars Rebels, and then probably skip all the other Star Wars unless you're a huge fan. Get the Football Club soccer tables if you're a fan of soccer. Then probably skip all of the Marvel bundle that gives you all the modern games, modern tables of Age of Ultron and Ant-Man and all of these. There's about 4 or 5 different Marvel bundles that get you this. Maybe if you like Marvel, you get the original bundle that gives you Ghost Rider and Thor and Moon Knight, which I think that's what this is the original bundle or the original 2 bundles. probably skip getting any of the core packs because you won't really have that much interest on it. And then probably skip Aliens vs. Predators and all of these other ones too. And after I've made that whole statement, I have to think to myself, it's like, I just told my friend if they wanted to buy Pinball FX, they should probably skip 38 of the 50 plus tables. And that's probably the truth of it. So there's a much easier suggestion to make here. Much easier suggestion to make. Don't buy Pinball FX at all. Go get Pinball Arcade and play some real tables. Get the bundle for the first season, and then write down your high score, or come over to your friend's house and play, taking turns. Hot seat co-op versus. That makes way more sense than getting in on this. And it wouldn't have been so bad to suggest Pinball FX2 when it first came out. No tournaments running, obviously. Every time I start a new day, I'm coming back here just to make sure. But no, they haven't had a new tournament in a year, it looks like. So, yeah, originally, because Pinball Arcade came out a little bit later, and it didn't have but 4 or 5 tables of original tables. It would be an easier argument to say, well, you've played Pinball Arcade, you've liked that. It's weird here. I'm telling people to play Pinball Arcade, and I haven't covered Pinball Arcade as closely as I would like to. But nowadays, since they're on to like their 4th season, you can get 20 tables. Each one of those being probably one of the best real-world pinball tables ever. You're not going to get a loser in Pinball Arcade. Or if you do get one loser, it's going to be 1 out of 4 seasons. Or the one that you just might personally dislike, but other people would like for some reason. Here, you get a loser more often than not. At best, you're getting a 50-50 ratio here. At best, 25 of tables here are decent enough to want to go back and play after an hour's worth of play. And that's just real low quality. Anywho, next time we are going to play, what is it? We did Epic Quest last time, so that puts us here with Shaman, and then we will do X-Men, and in comparison, Ghost Rider was kind of too good for its name recognition, since Ghost Rider's not that well known these days. X-Men, on the other hand, needs to be as good or not better than Ghost Rider because it is well known. Particularly in the time that this table would have been made, it was a big deal. After we do X-Men, then we only have, let's click on the description here, the Boba Fett Star Wars table to do, and then we do Blade, and then we are going to do Tesla, and we're starting to see the light at the end of the table, light at the end of the tunnel. Interesting, there isn't a train-related pinball table. I bet somebody made one, but I can't think of one. We're coming close to the end here, where we're gonna wrap up. We have maybe, I'd say 6, 7, 8 more recordings. That's gonna be it for this recording though. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.